me seems crazy, a graveyard theory. Our ghosts try to approach me and got leery. Ask him a question and he vanished in a second.
So hey, how do you feel about censored characters becoming real?
Yo, Sistermon Seal's crazy. I like her. I like her a lot.
Is she better than Sistermon Noir?
No, okay, so here's the thing. I was curious, like, I was like, okay, this doesn't seem like the Sistermon CL from, like, the Cyber Sleuth thing. And it's because it's not.
Oh.
The one in Cyber Sleuth is totally just, like, they took Sistermon CL, who I thought was created specifically as, like, a censorship thing, but I think she was always just her own thing, but
so
instead of having Sistermon CL as her own thing in the game, they were like, we can use this to censor Noir for whatever reason.
So here's the thing, it's totally a censorship thing. They just made the censorship thing a real character.
Is it? Really?
Yeah, just straight up. Because for whatever reason, it's like Sistermon Noir was like too sexy or whatever, and she has the guns and stuff. So it's like, alright, let's make her look less like a nun, let's give her like a, like different color palette, whatever, just change the weapons or something. Not like change the weapons, honestly. I think that was like a later thing, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what was confusing me, because I was like, why is Sistermon CL running around with a katana? What is this?
Yeah, because...
It's because they differentiated her from a censorship thing to her own being, and she uses a sword instead of guns.
Yeah. So it's like a censored character design that was good in its own name, and it just like somehow ended up becoming a real character. And honestly, that's pretty slick. I actually like that a lot.
I'm fine with that. I think the censorship in Cyber Sleuth is stupid. I'm okay with it branching out and becoming its own thing, though.
Yeah.
Especially when this is the result, because she's crazy and I love her.
Right, I think I said fastest and the most powerful. It's the fastest and the strongest.
She's the fastest and the strongest. To be fair, she seems pretty dang strong.
Yeah.
What level is she? She's
champion
level, by the way.
Yeah. So we finally have something that's not an ultimate, which means they have to find a different way to defeat the problem, and it makes for a more interesting episode.
What level is Metal Phantomon?
I didn't look that, but he's probably like ultimate, I'd imagine.
He's wait, hold on.
Because, like, I think normal Phantomon's ultimate, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Metal Phantomon's an ultimate.
So I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be, the big, like, parade of yokai or whatever. Turns out, kind of not really.
Not really. Also, I think we might have seen the first on-screen death caused by a hologram. Or a Digimon, I guess.
I heard someone else point that out, and I, like, watched the episode, and it's like, he could have probably lived through that.
The car explodes.
Like, you could, like, argue, maybe he, like, got out or just survived with burns or something. Like, that's not necessarily, like, a death. It's, like, pretty shocking, though.
They don't make a point to be like, oh no, he survived it.
Yeah.
Also,
I don't think they did with, like, Mummymon's victims either, did they? Like, we saw some of them, but not, like, all of them.
I think it's pretty safe to assume that they all got let go.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure he didn't just keep some.
I'm just imagining, like, one of some of Mummymon's victims were just a bit older and they didn't quite make it. Like, that's pretty brutal. That was pretty brutal.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, at the beginning of this episode, the first time we see CL, she it's just a couple of a road full of people just like in their cars or whatever, and like she just starts stomping on somebody's car. And I'm not quite sure why.
I think she just wanted the car so she could be faster and stronger.
Maybe. At first, my initial thought was like, oh, maybe Maybe she's like trying to warn them of the approaching horde of Digimon or something. And it's like, no,
No, she don't care. She just wants to win the race.
no, she's crazy. She's the direct like reason this is happening.
So plot of this episode is that there's a Digimon race that's going on. It's just sort of like been going on for a while. And like Sistermon's like, oh yeah, you know what's going fun? I'll just get like Mel Phantomon involved, who's just this big robot like cyborg reaper.
If you're too slow, you die.
Yeah, he just marks everyone with a little like skull thing, and it's like, okay, yeah, you like, if I pass you, you're going to just die.
It's kind of weird because it's like, oh, like Digimon are actually dying in this episode, but you can still hear them calling out from inside the scythe.
Yeah, I think it's like they're not exactly dying, they're just being trapped, but still, it's like, it's not a good implication.
Yeah. Considered like Metal Phantomon, it's like, oh, some people call him the Grim Reaper. And it's like, yeah.
What'd be worse, like you die and you come back as an egg, or you just get trapped in the scythe forever and your soul's just used to power this effing thing?
I mean, the egg is the obvious, like, choice you want.
Yeah.
Because you get to come back. Like, maybe you get to come back if Metal Phantomon dies, but otherwise you're just stuck.
So yeah, the entire thing of this episode is the like the race is going on stuff. And everyone's like, okay, yeah, we have to like investigate this, we have to figure it out. Meanwhile, Rui's just like, oh yeah, go-karts, right? Boys love this. Come on, let's do go-karts. And she just whips everyone.
Yeah. So, like, she's like, boys love this kind of thing, right? And I'm like, yeah, go-karts are cool.
Yeah. So I feel like that's kind of like the joke, because she's like, oh yeah, boys love this, and it's like her and effing Sistermon, they're getting like roped into it.
Yeah. I get the feeling that she dragged Kyo and Hiro along because like her friends are like probably aren't into go-karting.
Yeah,
like,
Kyo
hey.
and Hiro suck at it.
Yeah. And she's like, hey, suddenly I have a couple of guy friends. They're probably into this.
I'm pretty sure she overlaps Hiro at some point.
Oh, Hiro? I get the impression Hiro's not really trying to beat her.
I think he's just like really too nervous to go too fast at it, because he's like not putting his foot on the gas, and she just like keeps like passing him.
Yeah. Kyo's not even, like, Kyo's just like, no, I'm good. He just sits on the sidelines and watches, like, literally all day.
Can we talk about that great cut that just happens? Where it's like, yeah, the go-karts are just going by as Kyo's just watching. And it's like, yeah, it's like 1, 2, 3. Oh, hey, Jellymon's gone.
Yeah, Jellymon just disappears, and it's like, uh-oh, what's she doing? She gave Sistermon a go-kart.
She made her faster and stronger, so now she is the fastest and the strongest.
Like, I don't know. I think the implication is that Sistermon would have attacked her if she didn't help her, because Jellymon is, like, laughing nervously or whatever next to, like, a destroyed car. It's like, I think she was kind of coerced into it. I don't think Jellymon was just like, oh yeah, I saw Digimon, and it's like, here's a go-kart.
Yeah, that makes sense, honestly.
Yeah, they're just racing. They're just racing around on the track, and all of a sudden, like, the garage door bursts open, and Sistermon comes flying out on a go-kart.
Yeah, so they have to, like, this was basically the main thing of the episode, where it's like, oh yeah, they have to have a big go-kart chase against Sistermon, where they have to find some way to get her to, like, call off the race.
It's stupid, and I love it.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like going into this, it's like, you know, it's like, no, this was kind of whatever. It's like, now that I'm talking about it, it's like, you know what, nah, this is fun.
This is a fun episode. It didn't have much. There was a little bit of overarching, like, story that happens. It's, like, almost nothing, but there's something there. but most of it's just dumb filler fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it filler. It's just because filler implies that they didn't like have anything ready, so they just made crap up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they have the big thing where it's like Sistermon's like taking the lead, and like friggin' like Rui manages to like ride the draft behind her cart and use like her like superior go-karting technique to get in front of Sistermon, and Sistermon just freaks out like, hey, what the heck is that? I thought my car was supposed to be the best.
Yeah. Turns out that Ruli is actually the fastest and strongest.
Yeah. And like Hero's just like, oh yeah, of course, it's like it's that special car she has, right? Yeah, her car's really the fastest and the strongest, huh?
Yeah, and Ruli for a second is like, what are you talking about? There's nothing like different about my cart. Like almost like she's her skill is being insulted or whatever. And Hero's just like making hand signals. It's like, no, go along with it. And it's like, oh, yeah, man, this card's great. I'll trade you. And she's like, fine. Trade cards.
I kind of wish that like solved the like thing somehow, but it kind of doesn't.
Well, it's like, oh, we can't trade carts while Metal Phantomon's chasing us, and then Sistermon's just like, oh, okay, and starts attacking him.
Yeah, it's like a cap solves the problem a bit, but then everyone's carts just start running out of gas and like dying. And it's like, oh geez, oh no.
I love how chaotic the end of this episode gets.
Yeah.
Because it's Sistermon clashing with Metal Phantomon as other Digimon are getting caught up by like the scythe and destroyed. And it's like, holy crap.
Like just having the black Galmon from earlier, the whatever Galmon was, just like shows up.
It's Black Galmon.
I don't know if it's Black Galmon or if it's its own species or whatever, but it just shows up and it just forms like a portal to the digital world.
It uses the Fenton furnace to capture all the ghosts.
Oh man, not the Fenton furnace.
Yeah, thermos. Yeah, it looks like a freaking thermos or something.
Oh man.
Yeah, the Gatomon just drops a thing on the ground and it creates a gate and just all the Digimon get sucked in, including Sistermon and Metal Phantomon, and then Gatomon just vanishes.
Yeah. Is it weird I was kind of hoping for this to be like, friggin' Angoromon's evolution episode?
I thought it was going to happen because it looked like Metal Phantomon is going to catch up to him and Ruli, and it's like, okay, now would be a good time for him to evolve and do something crazy.
Yeah, like Gamamon's got his like power form and his like, flight form, but we need a Digimon that's fast, right? We need a Digimon who can like, just jump over and grab a dude and then like run away really quickly, which seems to be where like Angoromon's whole like thing is going, because it's like we see his like next form in the intro, it looks like way leaner and like quicker.
Yeah, Angoromon can fly, but like he's kind of slow.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, he'll evolve and get like a faster, fitter form, and he'll just be able to run really fast and do all this cool stuff. But dang it, he's just not doing it.
Well, it seems like that's where it's like implying in like the first episode, where it's like, first he's slow and then Rui powers him up and he becomes quicker and he can actually like do acrobatic stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how much faster he gets without evolving and like in that big form.
Yeah. Like I'm totally on board with like a super fast high-speed bunny like evolution line. I think that'd be super cool.
Really want to see evolutions that aren't just Gamamon getting more forms. Please.
Yeah. Oh boy, I can't wait until next episode where Gamamon locks his Triceratops form with like the guns.
Please don't tell me that was in the next episode preview.
It wasn't, but you know what was in the next episode preview?
A Digimon with guns.
Clockmon.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
coming back.
All right.
So yeah,
So-
I'm interested.
So yeah, we got a really fun episode, I think, where they utilized what used to just be a form of censorship as its own new Digimon.
Yeah. Gave her
like
a
I
really
said-
fun gimmick.
Yeah. Her gimmick is that she's crazy.
That she wants to be the fastest and the strongest.
Yeah.
And you know what? If we are gonna awaken like Sistermon Blank or whatever, Sistermon Seal, if we are gonna like awaken Sistermon Seal, I feel like that's exactly what it needs to be. It needs to be like take the character and make her even faster and even stronger.
Crazier.
Yes.
And like I said, we get a little bit of like major story, just a little bit. It seems like maybe Gatomon is going around and capturing all the Digimon it can.
Yeah, or just like I just assumed it opened up a portal to the digital world, but maybe not.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Not capture, but returning Digimon to the digital world.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But who knows, because we don't get any more information than they have a way to open gates to the digital world. And then Goromon seems to know what it is as soon as it opens.
I'm just so glad we didn't get another episode where, like, Hero looks at, like, Metal Phantomon, and he's like, hey, yo, you don't really have to hurt people. You can, like, find other forms of entertainment. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm going to go in sports on NASCAR and watch those races.
Yeah.
He's like, bye, he just floats away.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that they don't just reason out, like, they don't just find a reasonable way to solve the problem, because how do you reason with someone who's absolutely nuts and, like, a force of nature?
You convince them that, hey, yo, what's really the fastest and the strongest? Speed running.
Oh, jeez, no. Oh, that would be so stupid.
It'd be so dumb.
Like, props to all the speedrunners, but man, that would be a stupid plot resolution to this.
He just introduces her to the world of Sonic speedruns, and she just starts, like, just mashing buttons, just like, yes, I'll become the fastest and the strongest.
Yeah, Digimon have an unfair advantage because they can just manipulate the electronics.
Every single run would have to get thrown out.
Or just make a new category.
It just create an entire new problem.
The Digimon speedrunner category.
Oh man, every single, like, Mario Kart world record just simultaneously goes to the same username, and it's Sister C. And they're like, oh, this must be a glitch. Like, what was this? I've never seen moves like this before. Are these tool assisted? This can't be right.
You know what? It would just be a tool assisted speedrun. Unless they, like, alter the code on a fundamental level. It's like a Digimon could be as perfectly accurate as they need to be.
I have to assume there's, like, some limit to that, because it's not what their, like, program is intended for, right? So if Sistermon tried to compete against, like, other tool-assisted runs, she probably wouldn't be, like, as good. Because she has to still use her, like, normal reaction time.
As a digital being, I feel like she'd, like, once she sees what's happening, she'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Because that's
like,
the thing, is, like, because tool-assisted runs aren't, like, done really, like, live. They have to, like, program in every single input on, like, an effing, like, you know, frame-to-frame basis.
Yeah, you play the game at a really, like, you literally play the game frame by frame. And,
yeah,
like...
so you could, like, manipulate it perfectly.
Yeah, and if there's, like, any RNG, then you just reset the situation until it's the perfect resolution.
Yeah.
Like, tool-assisted speedruns are great because, like, so much work goes into them, and what you get out of it is like incredible to watch.
You see crap like Sonic just runs at like 90 miles an hour backwards.
Yeah,
Just completes the entire thing without ever looking forward.
Yeah. Yeah, because tool assisted speedruns are just, what if the game was played 100% perfectly, no flaws, and it's incredible to watch.
And we also threw in a bunch of like dumb like meme bits and stuff because we can.
Yeah, I appreciate the tool assisted speedruns that have like they'll screw around a little bit in ways that don't compromise their time. It's just like, okay, I have to wait for this thing to happen. There's no way around it, so I'm just gonna like do stuff that would be impossible.
Yeah. Characters just like sliding through the finish line, like facing backwards while crouching.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I guess anything else we really have to say about this one?
Nah, not really. It's a fun episode.
I hope we see Sistermon again and she becomes even more the fastest and the strongest.
If we ever see the main cast go to the digital world, it would be fun to like run into her again, and she's like got some new crazy thing going on.
Yeah, it's just, are there any like car Digimon she could like use or whatever? Like she just finds Behemoth. Like Beelzemon's motorcycle.
Oh man.
It's like taking her over, and she's like, "I want to be the fastest and the strongest like this."
Nah, she'd overpower Behemoth.
Oh man, I love that. Unironically,
there is another motorcycle. Like there is a motorcycle Digimon.
I still can't believe the first time the motorcycle's introduced, it just possesses Guilmon, and he's just like riding an effing motorcycle with like red, evil, glowing eyes.
Well, it's not Guilmon at first. It's like a baby Digimon.
Yeah, then goes to Guilmon.
Yeah, it's the first time we see it. There's like a baby driving it.
Oh man, it's such a good ab context image. It's so fun.
Yeah, Guillemot just riding around on a motorcycle.
Man, I think there actually was a race episode in like Series 4 at some point. So maybe there's something from that they could use.
Yeah, like it's like a Trailmon race or something.
Yeah, I think like Blackware Garurumon has like a card or something. I remember it being like a thing, and they have their whole like wacky races gimmick.
I don't remember that, but yeah, I do remember that there is like a race episode. And the 2020 reboot has a racing episode with that motorcycle Digimon I mentioned.
Oh man. So is there anything else we really want to get into with this?
Nah, that's all I've really got to say about it.
Yeah, please let the next episode be a non-Gamamon evolution. I'm kind of really wanting it. Just these other two have nothing to do, please.
Please. I think that's the only real complaint I have about this series so far, is that Hero's getting way too much of the attention.
Yeah, Hero's getting a lot more of the attention than the art characters. Which kind of makes sense because he's the main character, but it's like, boy. And also because he keeps getting the only evolutions, he's the only one who can really fight.
Yeah, it's always Gamamon who does anything. It's just, even when the original series, like, sure, Tai probably got more attention than everybody else, but I feel like we spent a lot of time on the other characters too.
Yeah. Like, I want to see what, like, Jellymon's new form can do. Show me, like, Angoramon, like, Form 2, you know?
I want to see Kung Fu Fighter Angoramon.
Yeah, give us a good Rui episode where, like, like, that's the thing, because this kind of was a Rui episode, but it feels like we didn't really, like, learn more about her as a character. We just learned that she really likes go-karts.
We learn that she's a tomboy.
Yeah. You know what? I guess
Also-
that's fair, yeah.
Also, I do like the part of the episode at the end where Angoramon's just lying in her bed reading a book.
Yeah.
I kind of like that, like, Angoramon is, like, the more grounded, like, intelligent one of the group.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I would have never, like, guessed that based on his appearance. I was just like, oh, this is gonna be, like, just the dumb muscle, like, Yeti guy who just punches things, and, they have to, like, stop him from hurting himself.
Yeah, no, he's the big, he's like the big guy, but he's also the smart guy.
Yeah. And Jellymon's just the crazy one that's just, like, she's the wild card.
Yeah, Jellymon's just like, whatever. It's like, yeah, the beginning of the episode, Kyo is just like, were you out all night? And she's like, yeah, you miss me? Like, Jellymon's just out all night doing who knows what.
Yeah, that's the other thing I should probably mention, because, like, it did really come up this episode, but yeah, like, over the last couple episodes, Gamamon's been getting more rebellious too.
Has he?
Because, like, last episode, he, like, sees, like, Chromon, and he, like, charges him, and Hero's like, no, don't, and Gamamon's like, but my chocolate.
Yeah.
It's been, like, this weird little, like, background thing, and it's like, I feel like that's what the Dark Evolution's going to be, like, Gamamon just gets too reckless and stops listening to his tamer for a bit.
That'd be pretty interesting. Yeah, if Gulus Gamamon happens because Hero's not, like, taking good enough care of him.
Yeah, because of course it's going to happen, we've seen it in the intro, but still...
I didn't know it was seen in the intro. I just know of it because of the Vital Bracelet.
Yeah, you see like a quick shot of it, like after all the evolutions.
I hope it's cool. Like, I hope it's not like a Skull Greymon thing where it happens and everyone is like, Hero's like, oh no, what have I done? And then it ends really quickly.
I mean, that's probably what it's going to be, but it'll also probably be fairly cool.
Yeah, I just hope that he turns into Gulus Gamamon and it's actually kind of a cool thing and it's not, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of hoping we get like a situation with like, I probably won't be as effective, but I'm kind of hoping we get like more of a Beelzebub situation where it's like, it's like, oh, this thing's too strong, I have to force Gamamon to evolve. And he, like, evolves into, like, the dark form. And it kind of works for a bit, and then he just gets his ass handed to him.
That'd be lame. I don't want to see him lose. That would be...
It was so cool with Megidramon, though.
Yeah.
I guess, like, the fact that the world wouldn't literally be exploding kind of takes away a bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Gulus Gamamon's just a champion. Like, the stakes are considerably lower.
I mean, you say that, but this show has put more humans in direct risk than I think anything we've seen so far.
I mean, the children of the previous series are constantly in danger from random enemy Digimon, so I don't know about that.
And I'm thinking of, like, where, like, Mummymon just has, like, 50 people just, like, bandaged up in his basement, and he's just making them suffocate to death.
Myotismon takes over an entire city.
Yeah, that's fair. Myotismon, like, probably drained the blood of a lot of people before he transformed.
Yeah. The only thing that it's keeping Myotismon's body count, like, kind of lower is that because he moved everybody to, like, the airport or whatever, the buildings he starts destroying when he digivolves were probably actually empty.
So here's the thing. Myotismon has a known human body count of 1 that we know of. At least. And that's already way higher than, like, anything else in the series, I think. I don't know of any other Digimon antagonist we've seen so far that's just straight up murdered a person. Like,
Yeah,
hard confirmed.
Yeah, if we're just talking people, then yeah. If we're counting Digimon, though, like, Beelzemon went on a rampage.
Oh yeah, Beelzemon did like a lot. Beelzemon has like a friggin' high body count if we're counting Digimon.
He killed a crap load of Kurisarimon.
Oh yeah. And those were the ones who did Digivolve.
Yeah.
And
Then
Leomon.
Then he killed Leomon.
Man, Tamers really win places, huh?
Yep. That's why I love it.
So anything else we really want to get into before we like end this off?
No, that's all I really have to say.
Alright, see you guys around.
Yep, later.
Later.